need to take a look at in this chapter is the reciprocal trig functions. They are cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And people that invented math are super, super annoying. Cosecant is the inverse of sine. Secant is the inverse of cosine. And cotangent is the inverse of tangent. And so what they've done is they've taken what should be really easy to remember and made it really difficult. Cosine and sine should be inverses of each other, right? Cosecant and secant could be inverses of each other, cotangent and tangent, but that's not how it goes. Cotangent is the inverse of tangent, but cosecant is the inverse of sine, and secant is the inverse of cosine. So, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. It's not my fault.
I don't know. Can you go over that again?
Nothing to go over.
No, but like say what is...
These theta signs look like Pokeballs.
So what is...
Yeah, when I play Pokemon after school, I really think about doing it.
Take it away from me.
No, but...
What?
How did that happen?
Where'd you get it?
What?
I thought that was in my pocket.
Can you say what the...
Yeah, Pokemon is
things are?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, this is cosecant
Yeah, but like what is it the opposite of?
sine. This is secant,
It's cosine.
and that's the opposite of cosine, and cotangent is the opposite of tangent, okay? And they have graphs, but we're not going to mess with the graphs because they are really, really wacky. All we're going to do is use them to figure out some values.
Don't change it yet, please.
Don't change it yet.
I do that on the
Okay, Shad was saying, how come math analysis, why do you get like some people get advanced?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, there's some papers I was reading and then everyone was getting like different answers and they're all different. They're all like decimals.
Okay, so let's find the. No, I get you what you're talking about. We're going to find the. Plus, you've never graded a paper for me in your life. Let's find the cotangent of negative 5 pi over 6.
But I thought we didn't do tangents. Why are we doing this?
So this is back to the old unit circle thing. Okay, what I said we're not doing a lot with in terms of tangent is the graph, but we will be figuring out the values of it. All right. So you got to go unit circle here, and then I'm going to do the angle thing again. So this is negative, so I go backwards, and negative 5 pi over 6 would be right about
There.
there.
Yeah, there.
Okay, how do I know? I guess the way you guys know is you take the negative 5 pi over 6 and you change it into degrees by multiplying by
180 over pi.
180 over pi. So the pi's cancel. 6 goes into 180 30 times. 30 times negative 5 is negative 150. So this is a negative 150 degree angle.
That's it?
So, now I make my triangle, like always, to the x-axis, okay? And the key is what's this reference angle right there? 30. So then I have to play that game again where I figure out what the coordinates of this point are right here. So since this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the short leg is
Pi over
1/2. The long leg is root 3 over 2. And since we're in the third quadrant, if I'm talking about the coordinates of this point, they would both be negative. So this is negative root 3 over 2, comma, negative 1/2. Okay? Now, cotangent is the inverse of tangent. Tangent, I'm sure you remember, we found by taking the y-coordinate divided by the x-coordinate. Okay? So this is the opposite. So cotangent is going to be the x-coordinate divided by the y-coordinate. So the x-coordinate is negative root 3 over 2. The y-coordinate is negative 1/2. how do you divide two fractions?
Multiply by the reciprocal.
Multiply by the reciprocal, so this is going to be negative root 3 over 2 times negative 2 over 1.
2's cancel.
2's cancel, negatives cancel, final answer, square root of 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay?
That's so cool.
So one of the things you might want to write in your notes back from this screen right here is that cosecant, not cosecant, what did we just do? Cotangent is x over
Are they
y.
not all x over y?
Okay? No, do you remember what cosine was?
Y over x.
Don't remember?
No.
Cosine was simply the x coordinate of that point.
So it's gonna be y.
Okay? So secant is going to be 1 over the x coordinate. Do you remember what the sine was? The y coordinate of that point. So cosecant is going to be 1 over the y coordinate. Okay? So let's do another one using one of those things.
No,
Wait, I'm waiting.
Other page. Other one.
Whoa. This page.
Jenna.
Jenna Hoarder.
Why didn't you make those Jenna out?
Because the two negatives cancel out. Okay, ready for another one? All right, this time let's find the cosecant of pi over 6. So we'll cut straight to the chase. The way you guys like to do these is change the radians into degrees. So what do I have to do to do that? 180 over pi. So the pi's cancel. 180 divided by 6 is 30. So we're actually talking about a 30-degree angle here. So that's going to go right to there. Then I need to make my right triangle. This is a 30-degree angle. So just like last time, the short leg is 1/2. The long leg is root 3 over 2. So the coordinates of this point are positive root 3 over 2, comma, positive 1/2. Okay? So you've done that before, right? So that's not any big mystery to you?
And then you had to like.
I know it wasn't easy for you to do it before, but it's not like that's anything new.
And now you have to do 1 over y.
Okay, so then you have to think cosecant is 1 over, it's right, sine, and sine is y, so cosecant is going to be 1 over y. So if the y coordinate is 1/2, 1 over 1/2 is 2. So the cosecant of pi over 6 would be 2.
And we have to do.
Okay?
Is there a button?
Okay.
Yeah, there is a button on the calculator. If you look on your calculator, then you'll notice that you don't have cosecant, secant, or cotangent. But we just figured out that it's 1 over, right? So make sure that you are in radian mode, because the pi stuff is in radians, by hitting the mode button and making sure that the word radian is highlighted. Okay? So if we wanted to figure out what the cosecant of pi over 6 is on a calculator, we could say cosecant is the inverse of sine. So I'm going to go 1 divided by the sine of pi over 6. And if we do that, we can confirm what we got on the last problem, which is 2. Okay? The problem is, the reason why you can't just do this all the time is because your instructions for these funky problems like this are give exact answers. Okay? Now you got lucky on that one. 2 is an exact answer. But let's say we did the other one on a calculator and wanted to figure out what the cotangent of negative 5 pi over 6 was. So we go, okay, I want to do that on a calculator. So cotangent is 1 over tangent. So I'm going to go 1 divided by tangent and then go negative 5 pi divided by 6. Okay? And then with that, unfortunately, you get a decimal. All right? And so you say, dang it, I have to draw the reference triangle and figure it out to get an exact answer.
Can you do that like on the first one? See if it is an exact answer?
You could try it in the first, yeah, and if you get like 1/2 or 2 or something like that, then just write, or 0 or something like that, then you'd be okay. Okay, then the last thing you need to be aware of is sometimes you are going to get an error. Yeah. That is the inverse sign. That's when you're trying to find the angle that has that value as its sign. So if you are going, if you did inverse cosecant, no, you can't do that. If you did inverse sine of 1/2, then you're saying what angle has a sine of 1/2. Okay, so it'll give you the angle instead. So that's a little bit different. Okay, hopefully you understand from the description of these. If I have 1 over y, sometimes I can be undefined, correct? Because it's possible that y will be 0. All right, so there are things that do not have a cosecant. Same thing with a secant. If the x-coordinate is 0, then you're going to get undefined there. And for cotangent, if the y-coordinate is 0, then you're going to get undefined for that as well. Okay? So sometimes you will get no answer. And that is okay. All right?
All right. That was normal time to go to the
Yeah.
Yesterday's was yesterday was a little bit long. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. This was football starting out, and I was just